Report card. Can JSerra continue their hot streak dating back to last year? Will the Santa Margarita Eagles three-peat as national champions? Can Capistrano United win their third straight league championship? Plus, St. Mary's battles the elements to come to Southern California, and the Pacific Ridge School Firebirds kick off the season in style again. Finally, what is the big reveal the league has been teasing about this show? That and more begins right now on the Report Card. Today, on the report card, Olu and JSerra renew their rivalry. Not a great day to be a goaltender. Damien and La Jolla Country Day both winless face-off. Who gets their first win? Eagles and Spartans clash in a matinee game of their own. Plus, the JSerra Lions are led against the Tories by goaltender Justin Bender, and a thriller down in Carlsbad between the Capital United Coyotes and the Pacific Ridge Firebirds. A game that saw 39 minutes of penalties. All that and more right here, right now, on the Report Card. Today, on the report card, Olu and JSerra renew their rivalry. Not a great day to be a goaltender. Damien and La Jolla Country Day both winless face off. Who gets their first win? Eagles and Spartans clash in a matinee game of their own. Plus, the JSerra Lions are led against the Tories by goaltender Justin Bender, and a thriller down in Carlsbad between the Capital United Coyotes and the Pacific Ridge Firebirds. A game that saw 39 minutes of penalties. All that and more right here, right now, on the report card.
Go get Kelly. Forgot Kelly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we finally got on air. It's been one heck of a morning, but here we are, Chuck Lejsek. This is the report card coming to you live from Ring 3 at Great Park Ice. Glad to have you with us, everybody. We got a really good show, Chuck. A lot of things have been happening in the past couple weeks.
Oh, no doubt, Christian, by far. It's going to be, great last week and a half. It's going to be interesting to see what's coming up this week as well. However, we got a bunch of highlights coming up right now.
I'm knocking down the props that we have right now.
You know what? Let me be the first kid to wish you a happy Hockey Fights Cancer Month here this
Absolutely.
This November, absolutely. As you're going to see right here, the Ducks have provided us some beautiful goodies that you could bid on right here. We have a Raquel signed stick. Oops, wait, that's not the stick. We're trying to. Here we go.
Trying to zoom in.
A
there it is.
R squared signed stick. We got a Cam Fowler signed puck. And let's not forget El Capitan right here. The signed jersey by El Capitan, the man that scored the game winner last night against a very, very voracious Vancouver forecheck. And then finally, we got a couple tickets right before Thanksgiving, 11:25. You get two of Art's best right here. So all the proceeds will go to Hockey Fights Cancer. And as soon as we get the lovely lady behind, we'll bring her in, and she can bid on that. And she will also give a color commentary.
No. What he's saying is one of the other auction items.
Oh, that's right. And then on top of it, here's your favorite, best part of all. You get to replace me. So you don't have to hear me for a game. You get to come on board and replace me. So please bid what you can. I know it's going to go up high. No one wants to hear me anyway, so there you go.
Hallelujah. Hey, well, we got some games to talk about, and so the first one we're going to dive in right now. The first game is the first matchup between the JSerra Lions and the Orange Lutheran Lancers, and we'll head to the highlights right here.
They're coming.
There, we're trying to get them. Still nothing. One sec. Let's see what we got to do.
Well, let's not forget it was an absolutely outstanding game where basically goaltending was not the difference right there. Both teams absolutely established their forecheck. As we come up right here, I think they're going to be brought up in just a moment. As here we go.
All right, everybody. Lute Hartmark, like Chuck was saying, brings the puck in on the power play. Dumps it in the end boards and actually gets his own rebound off the end boards to score the first goal. Nelson Wilkins helped out as well. A few minutes later, Jackson Ferry show, ladies and gentlemen, all the way down from his defensive zone. He's the one who brings it in, makes it 2-0 Lancers real quick. Correction, 1-1. Then later in the first, Lancers Taylor Rowley attempts to dump the puck in. It's deflected right on the stick of Luke Gontus, who winds up and fires to the back of the post. 2-1 Lancers now. Now waning moments of the first period after both teams fight for the puck. Ethan Hurst sends the puck across the crease to Thomas Stift, who goes back door to put the Lancers up by 2. On to the second period now. Get your scorecards ready for this one, folks. A lot of scoring. C.J. Girard steals the puck and weaves his way through a number of Lancers before he shoots denied, and Ethan Hunt, comes in with the rebound to bring the Olu lead back to 1. 23 seconds later, though, it's the Lancers' Max Fenn who got back on the board. 4 minutes left in the frame. Lancers can't control the puck, and JSerra takes advantage of it, where Kyle Lee is able to tap it into an open 4x6 at that point. Correction, this is the Kyle Lee goal. There it is. Yeah, a little bit ahead of it, but we're all right. But that was Kyle Lee scoring. He brought the score back. And finally, Lancers weren't satisfied with that. Just moments later, it's Jackson Ferry winning a face-off. Stiff sends it to Renton, who sends it back to Stiff, finds Ferry right at the top of the slot, and he buries the one-timer to put the Lancers up by 3. Just under 6 minutes to go in the third period. Now it's 7-3 Lancers when JSerra wins a face-off, and Ryan Tabrizi keeps hope alive, but it would end up being just a little too late. Too little too late as the Lancers end up scoring one more time, and the final score reads 8-4 Orange Lutheran over JSerra. Finals for the game, Jackson Ferry led the way for the Lancers with 5 points, with a number of other Lancers getting on the scorecard. Josh Renton ends up with a goal and 3 helpers, and it is the freshman Roberts who gets the win, stopping 13 of the 17 shots he faced. Meanwhile, on the Lions side, still some positives. 4 skaters find themselves in the goal column, with Wilkins taking the nod as their star of the game. And Chuck, these Orange Lutheran Lancers so far, they even won last night against Bellarmine up north. 4-0 now. They're a pretty strong team.
Well, you know what? I think the biggest wild card going into this season was the Orange Olu Lancers. No one really had, with the coaching change from Dan Adams to the new coach, I think really nobody really had a grasp of what this team would become or has become. And I'll tell you one thing right now, they've become the talk of Division I right now as they are undefeated, beating 4 tough teams to start off this season.
Now let's. I think it's time to move on, right? We're going to go to the next highlight. You got that one.
That's me now. Let's move to the battle between 2 teams looking for their first W of the season as the Damien Spartans and the La Jolla Country Day Tories faced off. La Jolla Country Day coming in up from Division II, had a good test right there, but the Damien Spartans, they would not be denied, as we're going to move right to the highlights right here. And let's go. We pick up the action 6 minutes into the game where La Jolla Country Day has possession, but a strong Damien Forchek takes over with Matthew Augustine stealing the puck on an errant pass, and he goes top shelf right where Mama keeps the cookies over Sebastian Poli's left shoulder to make it 1-0 in favor of Damien. We move on now about 4 minutes later. It's Damien's Forjek once again setting up Vance Rubert. That's right, Rubert. He has a brother. Deposits the puck in the between the 5-0 of Poli and the Damien Spartans, who have struggled to this point of the season, find themselves up 2-0, 10 minutes into the game. Let's fast forward to the halfway mark of the game. That's where Damien strikes again. Liam Culligan takes the pass from Kyle Wilson, sends the puck into traffic, and it is his brother Owen Wilson who cleans up the trash and puts Damien well in control at a score of 3-0. Let's move to the third now, where Damien starts to work the cycle. Well, I think they're going to start the cycle. Eventually they will. As we're seeing, they're going to work the cycle. Yep, eventually it's going to come about. And Jack Sapri is the beneficiary who buries the biscuits to make it a 4-0 game right now in favor of Damien. As we're still waiting for the highlights to continue, basically let's just go to the scoreboard right there. Let's not forget that we had Little, who scored over 2 minutes later for the Spartans shorthanded, as they take advantage of another Tory turnover. As Hunter Schneider then he goes one-on-one and beats Poli to make it 5-0. It's not all bad for La Jolla Country Day, though, as they take a 2-on-1 opportunity and finally solve Louis Garcia to make it 5-1. Let's look at the scoreboard right there. It was all Rubert right there, as he was one of the stars of the game. He got a goal, and I believe he had an assist as well. Schneider had a couple points, as well. Sapra had a goal. Gontus had a goal. On the other side, though, you look at the Tories as well. Rameau had a goal. Little with the assist. Diaz with the assist. And Poli stopped 13 of 17 shots. 11 of 17 shots. But let's not forget about the goaltender, Louis Garcia, right there, who was absolutely brilliant between the pipes. He stopped 27 of 28 shots right there. And right now, Louis Garcia is the difference between right now of Damien being 1-2, or actually, it could be a lot worse for right now for Damien. As you see, they give a prayer right there. It's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we were looking at the shot totals against his year. He's already got over 130 shots against him. So he is seeing a lot, and he's stopping a lot. Unfortunately, some of them not stopping, but like you said, in this game, that's the reason they were able to get the win.
Well, he's averaging almost 45. I mean, you're almost talking a 43 shot per game, average right there. you know what? Ducks are basically doing that with Gibson. They're not going to live up much longer to that as well. So sooner or later,
we actually talked about that on the broadcast earlier too.
The Damien back check is going to have to sit there and help out a little bit.
Now it's time to move on, where we're going to go to Damien Spartans hosting the back-to-back defending champs.
Yeah, they hosted Santa Margarita, and a great spot as we're going to kick it off coming up in just a second.
Looks like we're actually not going to go to the video. We're just going to go straight to the scorecard. That's all right. So I'll pull that up for you so you can see it on here, Chuck.
Well, basically, it was all Eagles as they scored 5 unanswered goals before the Spartans finally solved them. And once again, Louis Garcia did the best he could. It was 1-0 into the first period. However, it was 0-0 late into the first period before Santa Margarita finally scored at the 16-minute mark. However, after that, it was all Santa Margarita. They scored 3 goals in the second. They had 1 in the fourth to send the game to runtime. The Spartans got a goal late in the third period by, once again, Wilson. This time Owen Wilson, as he gets the assist from his brother Luke. And that's where we go right there. It's 5-1 in favor of Santa Margarita as they walk away with yet another victory.
Yeah, and it's yet again, this hockey stick does not like standing up, I'll tell you that. Yet another win for the Santa Margarita Eagles, taking advantage of that same Damien Spartans team. It was a great game for Louis Garcia. 41 of 45 saves. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the one that is able to win the game, but he had a fantastic performance, like you said.
Absolutely, Louis Garcia, I bet, is my pick right now to be the all-star goaltenders to represent. I don't care what happens. He's basically almost your MVP right there, at least at the start of the season right now, because what he's done so far in this league at the starting point, he's keeping Damien and giving Damien a chance every single night he steps on the ice.
Looks like we're going to jump right in. Oh, maybe not. Thought we were. We're about to jump into the highlights. It looks like we got the highlights rolling, guys. We actually figured this out. But this is going to be for the next game. It's going to be JSerra against La Jolla Country Day.
It's all you, Christian.
That's all me. All right, well then, just a little over 2 minutes into the game, the Tories have some trouble with puck handling. They've had that all year long, and Sam Mudd sends it to C.J. Gerard, who beats Ari Mazal over the right pad to put the Lions up 1-0 early. Heading into the second period, still 1-0, and C.J. Gerard gets his second goal of the game, this time from a tough angle, and the Lions are in cruise control at this point. Max Lynch with the puck now. He ends up scoring in that last play, and they weren't just ready to take a 3-0 lead, as once again a defenseman has some slip-ups, and there's Nelson there to finish the job. 3-0 now for the
Lions.
For the Lions, yes. I'm trying to remember who it is. We'll keep moving on. It's now going to be even a further goal. It's up to 4-0 at this point when they just really keep going. And this is going to be the 5th goal of the game. This is the goal where Nelson Wilkins just undresses the defenseman and turns Mazal into a pretzel. That puts him up 5-0, and it just wasn't done from there. Tories, however, not wanting to succumb to runtime, putting Justin Bender to the test not once but twice in the closing 2 minutes of the second, but unfortunately for them, they just could not solve his number. Runtime now in the third period. More Bender as he denies a number of opportunities and notches the shutout. JSerra wins this game by the final of 6-0. And we can take right there. Poli, for his efforts, stops 23 of 29 shots he faced in this one. Meanwhile, for the Lions, Justin Bender puts up a brick wall, shutting out the Tories by stopping every single shot of the 17 he sees. C.J. Gerard was another star of the game, notching 2 goals of his own, including the game winner. And Lynch, Fronte, Wilkins, and Stevens all got goals as well. And Chuck, this JSerra team's another... You never know about the Lions. Sometimes it's easy, but
you can talk. Yeah. I think they're up and coming right there. They obviously lost a lot of senior leadership from last year, but this year they're kind of like no one was kind of expecting what's going to happen with them. But right now, with the youth coming up and taking over the leadership, it looks like sunny skies right now for Coach Jeff Noviello as they take care of Damien. Or no, sorry, La Jolla Country Day by a score of 6-1.
Meanwhile, on La Jolla Country Day's side, it's been a tough season. It's been a tough adjustment to Division I. They actually lost this morning to St. Mary's by a big margin as well, but we see that in this league. You don't always have success in Division I right off the bat.
Yeah, it's growing pains, and that's one of the things that you have to sit there and deal with. It's the growing pains of working against the upper or top upper tier opposition right there. And La Jolla Country Day, they have the bodies, they have the size. It's just a matter of putting it together and figuring out what's going to happen at the D1 level.
You know, there's another team that moved up to D1, and they're the Capistrano Coyotes. They're who you want to talk about next.
There's two of them, actually.
There are two, actually.
If you talk about it. Now it's time to head down south to Carlsbad, where the Firebirds would try to avenge their loss to the Coyotes in the Division II championship game just a year ago. Owen Silverman has a great opportunity here, but he is stoned by an outstanding save from Grayson Zanke. The game was a heavy-hitting game, which actually featured 9 penalties in the second period. Jack Cadieux would help to start the scoring after his shot is deflected in front by Hayden Shoemake past Zanke at the 12:42 mark in the first period, and they give Firebirds a 1-0 lead. Heading into the third periods with the Firebirds up 1-0. The Luke Stengler show is about to begin. Watch the moves this kid puts on as he does this and mix in the spinorama, and he goes 5-hole right between the pads of Sandrine Poneth, giving Pack Ridge a 2-0 lead. Let's skip to the 2-1 lead for Pack Ridge in the third. Under a minute left. Jace Phillips puts the bow on this game as he receives a pass from William Schneider and to help seal the 3-1 win for the Firebirds. And I'll tell you one thing once again, Christian, it's always in the regular season that the Firebirds have the Coyotes number right now. The one thing that they cannot handle is the playoffs right there. But right now, let's look at, as we're going to scoot over to the board.
We're actually not going to look at the board because one of us who makes that every single week forgot something. But I can show you this. We do have the correct totals here. Oh, we don't even have the correct totals there.
Well, once again, how about the goaltending once again of my favorite?
Oh, Patty O'Donnell?
Patty O'Donnell is going to be a star in this league. I'm glad he's being showcased at the Division I level right now. You want to talk about a kid that has the talent and the drive. He could drive this team actually to the national tournament right there. And all you need is a little help on the back check and a little scoring right there, and bam, there it is.
And Zanke actually came into the game for Capistrano United, ended up going 20 for 21 when it came to saves, and he ended up getting a no decision, but it was a fantastic game for him. Stotts got the only goal for Capistrano United. Meanwhile, Patty O'Donnell, 15 to 16 saves. He's a big fan. You're a big fan of his.
Well, not only that, but I'm also a big fan of the back check right now of Pacific Ridge. If you only limit Capital United to 16 shots in the 51-minute game, you're doing your job right there, and kudos to them. As you saw when we saw the game, the highlights of the game, all the shots basically came from the outer side, basically from the wings. Nothing really in the middle, and that's a credit right there to the defense of Pack Ridge. The Firebirds got to start bringing some big fireworks to Division I, and the rest of the league better watch out right now.
We're now actually going to switch to the Division II. We didn't really get to talk about them a lot last week. Actually, well, yeah, we'll put Division II up. That works. As you can see, we've got a couple of games. I don't have them on my sheet, but as you can see, it was Poway with a shootout win over, you're looking for it, over Central Cathedral. The second game that you see there, St. John Bosco against Beach Cities, that was actually an overtime game as well. And then you had Irvine United taking on North County. North County 7-1 in that game over Irvine
County
United.
Right there, North County, they're going to be a force to reckon with in that Division II league right there. And I'm looking forward to see what they can do at the Division II level.
There's been a lot of great play in Division II. Unfortunately, we don't have all the video of that, but we're going to try to highlight some stuff. We'll tell you about that in just a second. But right now, let's go over to Division III because we do have a third varsity division, and check it out. The Saddleback guys. You ever heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Wow, look at that. That Perky's starting to sit there and push that train a little bit. 10 goals. They go double digits.
That was their second win of the weekend, actually, 10-6 over Inland Empire.
I heard of a high school coach a football coach in New York for being suspended for running up the score. We might have to talk to Perkins about that pretty soon.
The second game, you can see Capistrano United comes out with a 3-2 win over Carlsbad United. That Capistrano United team, that Division III team, is killing it in Division I, and you see that in Division III. You have two teams excelling.
Well, Coach John LeBay keeps on just recycling and taking the talent that he has in that area and he's producing not only great teams, but great lower teams as well to fill in for when they have injuries right there. And that D3 team, which is very important, is right there a stepping stone for them when they move into D1.
That final game you see there, Santa Margarita, a 5-2 win over Villa Park. Santa Margarita, again, that same concept.
Exactly.
You have a great system. They even got JV teams, too. These systems are setting up so that even when these seniors leave in Division I, they still have a big pack of punch.
I just want to know what Coach LeBay and Johnson, and then on top of it, if you go over to JSerra, Noviella are putting the water down in South County because they are just producing some outstanding hockey talent all the way around the board. Of course, we have our first Division I first-round draft pick in Johnson's son, and it just keeps on moving forward. Seriously.
It's a fantastic thing. We're going to go to some standings now. And as we switch, these are going to be Division I standings.
If you can see that, you're a better man than I am.
Here, I've got it for you right here, Chuck. Well, I thought I did. Well, either way, I'll tell you right now, at the very top of the pack, it's Capistrano United and Orange Lutheran. They are tied at the top.
The D1 standings, correct?
Yeah, it's D1. Yeah, Capistrano United and Orange Lutheran. They're both tied at the top with 12 points. Pacific Ridge, St. Mary's, Santa Margarita, and JSerra all have 9 points, so they're moving up as well. Meanwhile, Damien at 3 points after that first win that they were able to notch. Bellarmine just played their first game last night against Orange Lutheran. They've got another one later tonight. So they've only got one loss because that was only one. We'll see what they're able to do tonight. And then you have Tahoe Prep and La Jolla Country Day down there with no points to this point, 0-3 and 0-6 respectively. Let's switch over to Division II now. Chuck, it's a tight Division II.
Very tight right there, but it's right now old familiar foe right there, or old familiar name, I should say, in St. John Bosco as they lead the league right now as they're 3-0. With 13 points, 3-0-2, I should say, with 2 overtime wins. As we move on over, they're just trailed by Beach Cities by 3 points, as they're at 10. Then you move down to Edison, Beckman, Central Cathedral chiming in right in the middle of the pack right now at 7. Don't forget UCA Hockey right there at 6. Poway trailing them just by a point at 5. And then rounding up the last 3, you have North County, Irvine United, and Corona Norco, who's moved up from Division III to Division II, having a tough time with the adjustment right now.
It's a really tight division. You see a lot of different spots, but they're all within a couple points of each other. We'll see how that comes to play. Let's go over to Division III, the last one that we're going to highlight here on the report card. As you can see, Capistrano United at the top, along with Olu. I haven't seen that in Division I recently, have we?
Never.
Olu and Capistrano United both at the top in Division III and in Division I, and both teams have 12 points. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Santa Margarita's got 9 points, along with the Inland Empire United Wolverines. They've got 9 points as well. Then it's Placentia Yorba Linda, Villa Park, Vegas, who's only had those 2 games. We had to get the song in. It wouldn't be a broadcast if we didn't get the Esperanza alma mater in. Exactly. Villa Park, Vegas, Saddleback, and it still goes. Modern Day, Servite, Carlsbad United, and then Damien's D3 rounds up. Damien's D3 is all the way at the bottom. A couple of teams with no points. Hopefully we see some points through there
academics
as well.
And athletics.
Now, one thing that I said is we are kind of lacking when it comes to video footage of Division II and Division III. That is why we want you to send in your home video footage of these games that you're seeing out here so that we can feature them on the report card. We are going to get more information to you through social media throughout this week as to how to submit your fan cam footage so that we can get it on this show. Hopefully we've got all the video things.
We'll do all the writing.
We'll do all the writing. We just want to see your highlights. If you got a great shot, even if it's one of the Division I games, send it in so that we can show off some amazing stuff here.
Hey, well, let's go back. We have to go back to the Hockey Fights Cancer.
Absolutely.
Happy Hockey Fights Cancer in November. Hockey Fights Cancer in November. And let's bring in Kelly. We're bringing in Kelly, who's actually going to be the representative for Hockey Fights Cancer. And Kelly, I know you're working with the Ducks right there. Give us a little synopsis of what you're doing.
So actually, it's more so our wonderful director of officials over there, Arthur Quitano. He's the one who approached us, our local office in Irvine. Hi, Kristen.
In between. There you go.
And he was the one who approached us, talked about his fundraising efforts with his refs, and they're going to be wearing their jerseys.
I love those jerseys.
Yeah,
they're
the
awesome.
special,
Absolutely.
the lavender and the black, and whoever's wearing those jerseys are giving up their fees for that day and putting it into a pot and donating it back to us. And so it's been really great working with you guys and
That's awesome.
Supporting the American Cancer
And it looks
Society.
like we have some goodies here. Have you,
Yeah.
you know anything? We got a Richard Raquel signed stick that will be up for auction. We have the El Capitan, the Ryan Getzloff jersey right here. Cam Fowler, the leading defenseman now, leading defensive men scoring.
Yeah,
there we go. Defensive scorer in Anaheim Ducks history with that goal he scored the other night against Winnipeg. And then we got two. And I want to say, because I might have sat in these before, but two of Art Trotier's tickets right here.
Yeah.
And right there. So please place your bids in right here, and all the proceeds go to
the American Cancer Society.
Exactly.
You will be helping support the cancer patients that we serve through free programs and services that we provide to them.
Yep,
So.
all of our money stays local here in Orange County, so you'll be people helping your neighbors, your people across the street, everybody.
Yep.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate your help, and let's keep fighting the good fight.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you. As we're going to switch aside for a second. Go ahead, dude.
Unbelievable. I just realized I've known one of those girls for about 15 years and didn't even realize that it was her standing there until she was sitting in this seat. But amazing things that the American Cancer Society is doing. It's awesome that the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League finally has this opportunity to really jump in. Oh, hi, everybody. To really jump in and assist. So there we go. There we go. A little bit better there. It's fantastic that the American Cancer Society and the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League are able to work together here, along with UCI Health in the background with perfect product placement. It's just fantastic. These things we've got autographed here, the opportunity to come and broadcast with us, it's a fantastic opportunity.
Make a bid or else I'll take them home. So go ahead. I got the man cave all set ready for him, so make the bid right now. There it is right there.
Yeah, because Chuck is not afraid to bid.
Yes.
That is very true.
As everybody knows. That's the as you see right there, that's El Capitan. You'll see the autograph right there. And let's pan over right here once again to the leading defenseman, the man who leads the Ducks in defensive scoring now, as he passed Scott Niedermayer on Wednesday, I believe, on Tuesday with his goal against the was it Winnipeg Jets, I believe?
Yes, it was.
Winnipeg Jets. That's Cam Fowler. And then, of course, you got two of Art Trotier's finest right there. And I'm telling you, these are some pretty decent seats right there. So
you can see what section you're sitting in.
So make your bids, and like as Kelly mentioned beforehand, all proceeds will go to the American Cancer Society. Help your friends, help your neighbors, help everybody else. And you know what? I think that's about it, sir.
Yeah, Chuck, we got some games to do. Santa Margarita, JSerra, the what?
Mother of all battles.
The mother of all battles. Less than an hour right here on this rink.
That was me.
What was
this
that?
Rink or the next
right on this rink.
Oh,
We're on this rink first.
Okay.
Then we're going over to the other side for the St. Mary's Capistrano United game. That's going to be at 6:30. Meanwhile, up north, we do have Orange Lutheran against Bellarmine at 4:30. So just about an hour from now as well. Going on up north. Really important game for the Orange Lutheran Lancers, trying to go 5-0 for that. A big thank you for supporting us here with the report card. We're trying to get all the kinks out. We're having some issues technically, but we do appreciate you, the fans, for helping us out.
And your patience.
Plenty of patience. I know we got off to a light start. We had some issues, but we're happy that you are joining us for the Anaheim Ducks High School Hockey League. Make sure to click that subscribe button on the youtube.com/ADHSHL page. Go over to Facebook, facebook.com/ADHSHL.
And where do they submit their videos at? Have we figured that out?
We haven't figured out yet. That's why we said we're going to talk about it on social media this week, but we're going to get there. Meanwhile, Twitter and Instagram you want to follow at ADHSHL as well. That is it for the third episode of Season 3 of the Report Card. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we're going to get the videos working in the next 2 weeks. We're zooming in, so that means the game's over. You guys have a great time. We'll see you in just under an hour. JSerra, Santa Margarita on BDEHockey.com. Thanks for joining us. This was the Report Card.